your girl, Angel Marie, aka the Bmore Princess, aka Blue Angel. And if y'all into the metaverse, into the VTuber world, also Meta Blue. And today, I got some good stuff for y'all. So, number one, if y'all haven't checked out my last video, make sure you go ahead and check that out. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and like and comment and all that good stuff. In the last video, I reacted to my appearance on the All Things Go speed dating and singles mixer. It was a lot of fun. It was some tea was spilled. It was hilarious. So make sure you go check that out. Without further ado, today we're going to be watching Joanne The Scammer, from internet icon to disappearing act, brought to you by Black Feminity TV. So here we go. Let me just... Also, why it's darker is because I felt like it could be more suspenseful, because we scamming, you know? Suspense. We're trying to get the bag. Alright, here we go. Make sure you get your snacks and your tea ready. I'm here for it. Because where the heck has Joanne The Scammer been? Like...
There was a time when Joanne The Scammer ruled the internet. With her messy blonde wig, fur coat, and shameless love for fraud, she became a viral sensation, flooding timelines with iconic one-liners, hilarious skits, and meme-worthy content.
Joanne The Scammer.
A beautiful, messy bitch. Thank you.
Joanne became so big that she was rubbing elbows with celebrities, landing brand deals, and
she was
unstoppable.
Everywhere, scamming everybody.
Just as quickly as she rose to fame, she disappeared.
And the same people that were praising me at one point were now bashing me. You know, I think for a couple months I enjoyed it, but it's really hard. And I'm not saying I'm stopping, I just feel like hatred can become uninspiring.
So what happened? Why did Joanne The Scammer fade into the background? And
Joanne
where
The
is Brandon
Scammer
Miller,
without the wig and all that?
behind the internet's favorite con artist?
Fine both ways, I
video,
guess.
We're breaking down the rise, the disappearance, and legacy of Joanne The Scammer, and uncovering the truth behind her sudden disappearance. Brandon Miller's story starts in the early 1990s in Hopewell, Virginia, where he was born and raised. He was adopted as a baby by older white couple Buddy and Veronica Miller. Brandon would later learn that his biological parents were both Puerto Rican and black. He describes his family as racist and says they never made him aware of his racial identity and raised him as white.
And you believed, or you thought you were white.
Is that why he said all the white... Wait. Is that what they said? All the white people to the back.
He's Indian, but he was white.
Y'all remember that video?
Like, I'm Indian, but he was white. And he just looked Indian. And my mom was physically, like, literally white. And, you know, they got me from birth, basically. So I grew up thinking I was white. I just thought that, like, I was in the sun too much. My family has 2 biological children, and then they have 2 adopted. And I thought that my sister was the one that was adopted, and I was with the whites. And she's colored like me, so it was just like, you know, and I would go to school and I would tell people, no, I'm actually white. I tell my black friends I'm white. I would say, you're just mad, or, you know, you don't understand because you have a black...
I don't understand. Why couldn't they just let him know where he came from? Like, that's crazy. You got your own child this whole time thinking that they something and they not. And then they go over there telling their friends if... oh my God, that's embarrassing. But that's jacked up for real. And on top of that, he said, what? That his parents was racist? Oh my God.
Parent, so you just wouldn't get it. You know, I mean, it's weird because I've been in like my white family would be racist and all this weird shit. And then to find out that I'm adopted, it's like, oh shit. Like, you're talking about me. You're talking about me. You know, you learn about a lot, and I think that's where the whole Caucasian thing even came from.
Oh, so like, for example, so y'all just having family time, and your parents are cracking jokes, but the jokes are racist, and then you thinking you're not the butt of the joke because you think you're white. The whole time they talking about you and your kind. Crazy work.
Because I've learned that everything I do that I've done on the internet in some type of way has been for my life.
Your birth parents are Black and Puerto Rican?
All I know is my dad, they gave me sheets on them. My dad literally had his height and his color, so I know he's tall and Black. And my mom was, I think she was like a combination of things, but I'm a Black person.
He went to a predominantly Black school where he was questioned about his racial identity. I went to an all-Black school, and people would say,
what? So hold on. Let me get this straight. So on top of all of that, you went to a majorly Black school and you thought you was white? Yo, I need to know. I need to know what the kids at the school were thinking.
Brandon, you're Black.
His adopted parents should be ashamed of themselves.
Black. Or Brandon, you're adopted. I was like, no, actually, I'm white. Since he was a kid,
They probably
he
thought he
always
was
had a knack
crazy.
for dressing up and entertaining and used humor to attract attention. In one childhood photo, around the age of 9, he describes himself posing in a messy black wig. He recalls that wearing a wig was always a signal for comedy. Whenever he put one on, people laughed. While Brandon hasn't gone into detail publicly about his relationship with his father, some of his past tweets suggest that he was abusive and not loving towards Brandon. Some of them read, "When I was 8, my dad broke my nose because my mashed potato."
Hold on. Let me read. My father always told me I was going to be gay when I got older. He also ruined my life with his words. When I was 8, my dad broke my nose because my mashed potatoes were too bland for his liking. That's not hinting at abuse. That is abuse. If your dad at 8 years old is breaking your nose over some mashed potatoes, that's some abuse right there. What? My father used to backhand me if I put on wigs. I went to his funeral and a sew-in and whispered in his ear, gag. Oh, that's T. That's E. Wow. My father said he was going to abuse me like Ike did Tina. And I told him I was going to whoop his like Tina did Ike. I got my... Wow. My father deserved to die. My father never loved me. My father used to burn me with his cigars. That is a trifling father. And it's like you adopted these kids just to,
were too bland for his liking. My father
And
used
then
to
he said his sister was like same as him. So, and he thought his sister was the one adopted. Yo, where they find these parents at?
whoop my
Growing
ass until I
pains.
fell asleep. My father never loved me.
Oh my
my father used to
God.
burn me with his cigars. My father said he was gonna abuse me like Ike did Tina, and I told him I was gonna whoop his ass like Tina did Ike. I got my ass beat. My father always told me I was gonna be gay when I got older. He also ruined my life with his words. And my father deserved to die. In a Fader magazine interview, he said, "One time I gave my dad something for Christmas, and I said, 'I love you.' And my mom said, 'Buddy, Brandon said he loved you.' And he didn't say nothing back."
Oh, Dad.
His father, Buddy, passed away from cancer when he was 12 years old,
Oh.
and he was raised by his stay-at-home mother. In school, Brandon hid his sexuality by presenting as masculine with braids, girlfriends, and a ladies' man persona. Very few knew he was gay until he was forced to come out at the age of 16 when his older sister found gay adult films on the family computer.
Oh,
His
sister.
mother reacted with religious disapproval,
Oh, sister.
saying the good old "God made Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve" line. Then Brandon learned from a family friend that he was adopted at the age of 17. Having grown up in a predominantly black school while
But
believing he was
imagine
white,
that's
the
basically
revelation was
his whole freaking like. That's the whole time you're building yourself and trying to, like establishing yourself as who you are. I mean, of course, like you go through your 20s and then you redefine, in your 30s and you redefine, but still, like this is crucial moments. Like these are the people who raised him his whole entire life, only to find out that he was adopted, and you had to have been treated. Oh my God, like I could. That's a hard story. I'm not gonna lie. That's a hard story.
both shocking and traumatic. When he confronted his mother about why she never told him, she admitted she feared he would run away. Brandon began experimenting with women's wear and once attended high school in drag with a friend, shocking his classmates. He decided to drop out and ran away to Texas, where he spent months dressing as a woman.
My father died.
What year did he die?
2003.
Down.
Which made me like 12, I guess.
wow.
And then I went to school and Right when he died, I entered middle school. It was really rough for me. I was really popular, all the girls liked me and all that, but I didn't feel into them. And I didn't feel into guys either, though. All I knew was I was just kind of like in limbo as myself, as Brandon. And then I quit school at 8th grade because my friend did. Her name is Raquel. We moved into one of her friend's house who was a trans woman. And that is where I became Victoria. I lived my life literally for like a year. I called myself Victoria. And I didn't say I was trans. I didn't say I was a woman. I didn't say I was a man. I just said I was Victoria. And that's how I want to live my life. And that's how it is.
What did Victoria provide for you, living as Victoria?
I found that I was less insecure. I was not shy at all. I could look people in the eyes for longer periods of time than 5 seconds. I've gotten better with that over time.
I mean,
around
he
this
got some
time,
nice looking
he
eyes.
was spending a lot of time on YouTube
Yes,
and felt
I loved
inspired
it.
by Chris Crocker, the viral star behind the
Leave
infamous
Britney
Leave Britney
alone.
Alone video. But he believed he could be even funnier. Determined to make a name for himself, he started uploading videos on his dial-up computer, convinced he would blow up on YouTube just like Chris.
Love the old days
In
of
Texas,
YouTube.
he entered the adult industry, first gaining attention from a one-off video before joining a cam site. He typically performed as a straight persona, appealing to viewers who fetishize gay-for-pay actors. In 2008, he relocated to Florida with his mother, and around this time, he began his relationship
That is
with
a
his
whole
long-term
era.
partner Xavier, who he met on the gay dating app BGC. Creating characters became his way of coping with his identity. He quietly uploaded videos without people knowing. Brandon was regularly uploading skits to YouTube, performing as a character named Miss Prada. She was a hyper-feminine, over-the-top
Louis Prada
character
Gucci.
he created that
Louis
engaged in
Prada
comedic
Gucci.
rants and storytelling, much like Joanne, but without the scammer narrative. Some of her most famous videos include the Miss Prada Dating My Brother series, Miss Prada Hates the Gay Community, Miss Prada's Message to Chris Brown, Miss Prada Talks About the Death of Amy Winehouse,
I am Joanne Prada, and I'll be talking about what's going on about Amy Winehouse. You know, she's gone. She just paid it. She died. I don't know how she died, but bitch, is it really that motherfucking a mystery? Hell no, the bitch was on.
Miss Prada Gets Real Hood, and these videos that have titles that I'm not allowed to read on YouTube. Brandon developed a following both as an X-rated performer under the name of Mr. Playboy and as Miss Prada. He experienced his first brush with
So it's safe to say around this, this whole time period, right, that the mom ain't mess with him no more. What about the sister? Cause I want to know what's the relationship between them, because the sister daggone exposed them for real, like.
internet virality and infamy in January 2012 when he jumped on the viral cinnamon challenge. The cinnamon challenge
I
was
never
a
did
popular
that. I
internet
wasn't
trend
dumb
in
enough
the
to do
early
that.
2010s where people attempted to swallow a spoonful of cinnamon without water, usually ending in coughing, choking, and dramatic reactions. In Miss Prada's version,
Man, the
he played
cinnamon
up the
had
drama
everybody
by
in a
repeatedly
chokehold for
calling
real,
out to
for
his
real.
mother and splashing her face with water.
I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna use
There you
this
go.
as like my gag thing.
I got my dog.
This is like so 2009. I don't even know why people are doing this shit no more.
A spoonful.
And I'm not
honey.
gonna use a spoon. I'm gonna down it.
Why?
I'm gonna down it.
Why? Like,
Really, though?
it's already
Who
bad
even
with
made
the
this?
spoon. Why you want to stuff like that?
Who even made mine? I'm gonna gag just thinking about it. My heart is beating so fast, my hey.
Yo! Yo!
Mom!
Mom? Which mom? My bad. My bad, yo, that was my bad. I'm just wondering.
What the fuck was
I'm just wondering.
Mom!
Alright.
Mom! Why? Come here! I'm not coming here. Yes!
I don't think it's
So I
that
found
Mom.
that like I'm stronger, and I'm like, and I found
It's
that
giving-
this is like an outlet for me to like kind of mask myself, maybe which isn't good in the long run. But at the time, only thing I knew was shut down and create someone else. I don't want to be myself. I just remember my family being so uneasy with it.
So they were uncomfortable with Victoria.
To the territory of like going into hormones, which I didn't have the privilege of because my mom moved me away before that started. I did talk to her about that, and she was like, before we get to that point and before I lose my son, I'm going to move you to Florida. So I moved to Florida, and I didn't have any friends, and I was forcing back into myself, which created Miss Prada, which was I'm using it for comedy, which I found still helped me. I find that, I don't have to like live like this. I could just cut it on and off.
Were you thinking at the time, because you said you used the language of you didn't have the privilege of being able to go on hormones like Raquel was.
Yeah.
So you wanted to go on hormones.
It's not even that I wanted to. It was just more so, all right, if I'm going to live like this,
Got it.
I just want to go full into that. I just didn't.
Yeah.
Brandon began recording pop and ballroom-inspired music as Miss Prada, and tracks like Emily Rose and Voodoo became fan favorites.
The only thing you're serving me is a bowl of rotten eggs. Bring your ass back over here. Who said I was done with you? I'ma give you to the count of 3, Miss Thing, or I'ma come search for you. That's right.
Most of the songs were accompanied by homemade music videos. Outside of YouTube, he was still recording adult videos and sold fake ones over Skype, using footage from other sources. But in 2014, things came crashing down when Brandon overdosed during his first experience with hard substances. In the hospital, he felt like he was on the verge of death but survived, only to struggle with severe anxiety and depression afterward. Constantly fearing for his life, he made frequent hospital visits seeking reassurance. As he recovered, he continued making Miss Prada videos, some gaining hundreds of thousands of views, but his success was inconsistent and he still relied on his adult content for income. Speaking on joining the adult film industry, he said, "I never really wanted to do it. I just knew that I could get a lot of money, but I just got tired of doing it. One day I said, I can't do this anymore. I thought, let me try and just give this Joanne character my last bit. Let me give it my all." And that he did. In late 2015, Brandon introduced the world to Joanne The Scammer, a messier and more chaotic version of Miss Prada, who is not shy about her career as a scammer. In an Instagram video, he wore the signature blonde wig with dark roots and delivered an improvised monologue, calling himself a messy bitch who lives for fraud.
Hey girl, I just want to let you girls know that I'm a real messy bitch, a liar, a scammer. I love robbery and fraud. I'm a messy bitch who lives for drama.
The video made its rounds on social media, and Brandon's following started growing again. Black China and Amber Rose were the first public figures to recognize Joanne, and before you knew it, Joanne the Scammer was a cultural phenomenon.
Give it up for Joanne the Scammer!
Period!
Joanne The Scammer.
A beautiful, messy bitch. Thank you. Finally, I've made it to New York. Honestly.
Gwyneth Paltrow, you are just truly iconic.
Welcome to Positive Life Choices with none other than Joanne. It's me, you know.
Today, we're going to be selling the Joanne The Scammer Starter Pack.
He said, "My goal was to turn Joanne the Scammer into a meme because the way your face is being used everywhere. That was my strategy to promote myself."
Well, Joanne thinks that she is a part of the whites. And I think that she thinks that she is literally on their level. But the joke is she's not. When I made the whole Caucasian thing up with her, I thought about who is like the epitome of like Caucasian and just like rich to me. And then I found out that Kirstie Alley was in Maine, and it doesn't get any more Caucasian than Maine. So I'm like, that's my best friend. Why? And I just ran with it. But I think that she's delusional, Joanne, and I think that she's just a train wreck, you know? And I think that's what makes it funny.
Once Brandon had the world's attention, he deleted his Tumblr, where most of his X-rated content were.
Okay,
as his money ran low, he received
All right. We should be good now.
I think that's what makes it funny.
Once Brandon had the world's attention, he deleted his Tumblr, where most of his X-rated content were. As his money ran low, he received offers to do
Tumblr is
photo
coming
shoots
back?
as
'Cause
Joanne
I've been
and
seeing
to
the
appear
girlies
in
be like-
character at a party.
Well, like Tumblr is already a thing, but I mean like the popularity of it, because I've been seeing more girlies want to get back into their Tumblr era and their MySpace era. I think it's good. I never made a Tumblr, but hey, we might get there.
Each paying $1,000. The amount
Me and the
increased
thumbs
with
up,
Joanne's
y'all.
popularity. Brandon maintained the momentum by rebranding all his social media handles to Joanne The Scammer and consistently
Ooh,
uploading
we love a
skits
rebrand.
and tweeting in character. The opportunities were endless. As Joanne The Scammer, Brandon collaborated with various brands, secured endorsements and
I think the way that I found out about Joanne the Scammer, if I'm not mistaken, might have been BuzzFeed, because BuzzFeed was popping around that time as well.
commercial deals. Celebrities were giving him recognition, and he even appeared on magazine covers. Everything he posted was turned into a meme or GIF.
Yeah, he was
launched
scamming
a line
everything,
of
scamming
doormats
everybody.
and starred in satire videos produced by Super Deluxe. A video titled Caucasian Livin' with Joanne The Scammer became popular.
You've arrived. Finally. Welcome to my Caucasian home. Come inside. We have colored eggs. Now, I know I'm white, but white people have colored eggs.
White people have
As I like to call them, minority eggs.
A year later, it was
That is
announced
so
that he inked a deal for an actual television series. Things were going great for Brandon. Until they weren't.
Oh,
In summer
Did Joanne the
2017,
Scammer get
Brandon
scammed?
revealed to Westwood Magazine that when Joanne the Scammer first went viral, the character's success felt organic, which made it so funny to people. However, he felt that once it became a job, it lost some of its natural charm, making things feel more produced and less authentic. He said, "I think people are overusing it. I think the public has overexposed the character a tad bit." Brandon started facing backlash when people dug up old videos, tweets, and recordings in which he had used racial and transphobic slurs. Brandon also made offensive jokes about SA and Chris Brown's assault on Rihanna. This led to criticism from fans and the broader internet community, challenging his previously celebrated persona. Then some of his unreleased demo tape, recorded by the producer Aisha Erotica, also contained racial slurs. According to some online rumors, some believe Brandon influenced her to rap those lyrics, supposedly in line with his Miss Prada character. But this is only alleged by random social media users, and I can't confirm any of this.
Can we make the argument that the early rise of social media, the early rise of YouTube around 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 era, everybody was doing really dumb, homophobic and racist jokes a lot. I just feel like at this point you would have just had to cancel everybody from 2000, from that period, to be honest. I think we have now changed and shifted a lot. But dang, I mean, that was just jokes a lot back in the day. I'm not saying that I'm not giving an excuse as that was a good thing, but man, y'all would be canceling everybody if we really, really dug into it. I think you could dig up anybody's past during that time and be like, yeah, you're canceled. We gotcha.
That's when the hit pieces and comments started rolling in, accusing Brandon of stereotyping trans women, being ashamed of his blackness, and all sorts of other allegations.
Well, of course,
people found her use of
now we know why he was ashamed of his blackness. If anything, dude is adopted and was told for most of his life that he was white. So
N-word controversial because the character isn't black. despite Brandon himself being Black and Latino.
Y'all might be a little bit pressed and bothered at me when I say this, but bitch, it is now time to address Brandon Miller, aka Miss Joanne The Scammer. What a lot of you hoes don't know is that Brandon Miller started off as Joanne Prada. What really hit was, I guess, when she decided to pretend to be like a white woman, and mainstream loves it when blackness abandons itself and tries to coon or throw some Clorox bleach on itself and pretend like, okay girl, but whiteness is greatness. But no, he's actually become a caricature. He's become the paid ass image of the detrimental ass mindset that a lot of black people.
Okay, now here's my thing. But don't we often become caricatures of ourselves? You know, and I put quotes around that, like, okay, for example, like, if he's, I'm gonna let him cook, but like, if he's clocking, Joanne Prada, like, Prada for me was a caricature of blackness, right? But this seems like it's making a caricature of white people, or those type who think they're white or act white when they're not. I don't know. I just feel like, did we have to make a think piece? I don't know. I could be wrong.
People have,
don't cancel
the
me,
good
y'all.
hair type
I'm
of
just
thing.
getting started on YouTube. Don't cancel me, y'all, please.
Darker type of shit. She has internalized all of the bullshit ass microaggressions and shit.
But he emphasized in multiple interviews that the character was fictional and not a reflection of his real identity or beliefs. He said, "People think that because of me playing the character Joanne, who's a woman, and then being able to come out of that as a man, and from something I said in a video, I was doing a video as Miss Prada before Joanne the Scammer. Straight people have always attacked me, and one guy called me the T-word. So I quoted him and I compared myself to my character. And it all got strange when I blew up as Joanne the Scammer. That's when all this shit came out. People totally took it out of context. I wouldn't say I'm trans, but I know how."
I mean, you ain't make a thought piece on the fact that he's encouraging scamming. Scamming's not okay. But y'all thought it was so funny. It's funny till y'all get scammed.
How it feels to be treated like a transgender person. So that's why it hurts when people call me transphobic. Because I can relate, and I have related. I don't get in my character to belittle trans people. I get talked about like a trans person by the straight community. I wouldn't put myself through all of that just to make fun of a trans person. Speaking of the use of the slurs, he said, "I was completely unknowledged at the time. I would have never said it if I knew transgender was the modern term, because you gotta be correct today." Brandon even stated that he has personally apologized to those affected by his past remarks.
I was at one point the people's choice, and the same people that were praising me at one point were now bashing me.
Yep,
I
that's
remember
how
thinking,
price of
this is
fame.
supposed to be the happiest night of my life, because like I made it here off of like, how the f did I even make it?
One day they like
It's-
you,
it
next
stopped
day
me
they
from
don't.
even like
And then
playing.
next
Like you said,
day,
you saw me like the whole.
You do something so popular and trendy, and that goes viral, and next thing you know, they forget about why they didn't like you in the first place.
Rise to joy. I was doing so much stuff, but
You were producing so much, I noticed.
I was like, yeah, but then I saw a post on Tumblr that said Brandon is transphobic and had 10,000 notes. I cried, I had nightmares. I had dreams of like people running down the street chasing me, because I kept like replaying it in my head because I'm my own worst critic. And I will look for bad comments, because sometimes I believe that bad comments are like, could be true. Maybe I need some critique or whatever. And then I was depressed because I'm around all these people who are telling me, don't say nothing. Don't, you can't. So I'm like, oh shit. So I couldn't even take up for myself. And I'm like, oh.
What do you think is better? Not saying anything or saying something? Because, like, you can go the Beyonce route. She don't be speaking on crap. And, she, out of all of this, she's still surviving. But it seems like the people who respond back or get that PR person to respond back, it really don't help. I have yet to really see that help. I don't know.
Guys, please don't do this. I know so many people out there who are actually transphobic. I've been doing this for like almost 10 years now with the whole drag thing. I'm not transphobic.
Because it's like, even when I've seen constant many times, even when you are so real about everything and you apologize, right? People still will dissect that, and then they will even get these people, study his body language, study his body language. And like, they just make tons of videos on it. and dissect and be like, I don't like his apology. So like, how do you win?
It's so
Like,
it's just irritating, you know. But I just feel like people are so offended nowadays, and they want to be offended. Maybe it's because of the president. I don't know. But yeah, that's why I stopped. You can't be creative when you're constantly being hated. And then I'm one of these people who can't even supply it if I'm being hated in any way. I'm just like, it's okay, I'll stop. You know, they want me to stop. So I've contemplated creating another character because I don't even know if I want to be Joanne the Scammer, because it's like I'm hated so much in the trans world because they think I'm joking about them.
Funny.
I don't look at me dressing as a woman as funny, because it's really about empowering women. Really, I always say like, only help women, only scam men, or like you know, stuff like that. Yeah. I don't think the whole me getting in character is funny. I think the shit I say is funny. Like, I want to be a Caucasian. That's just funny. I'm not. Or like using 9 identities. Or like, you know, some of the shit that I say are like, you know, what it is for me is, you know, getting in female clothes, like I said with Victoria, is I feel more confident with myself. Like actually problematic, or like actually transphobic, or actually racist. You know, that shit is hurtful, because I wouldn't even waste my time trying to make you laugh. I know what my goal is. So I'm like, if I know I'm so pure and I'm so humble, I'm so this, I'm so that, why can't you see that? Why do you think I'm mean, or why do you think I'm transphobic? That's not who I am. And that, you know, it just hurts, especially when 10,000 people don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm being criticized about everything, you know? And that was another reason why I didn't want to talk about, or I couldn't speak up, because if I was going to come out and say that I'm not transphobic, I would also have to say I'm not racist, and I'm not this, and I'm not that. So I didn't even want to like say one and not the other. I was called like 90 things, some shit I can't even pronounce. And I didn't want to do one and not the other. That looks tacky. And I'm just like, I'm not though.
While the internet controversy unfolded, he was simultaneously facing significant challenges in his real life. In late 2017, fans started noticing Brandon's inconsistent presence on social media. After his absence from social media sparked concern among fans, he took to Instagram in February 2018 to share an update in a video, revealing that his mother was battling terminal cancer, leading him to put Joanne the Scammer on hiatus to be by her
Is
side.
it the hate? Is it the hate?
It's
Like,
me, Brandon. I play Joanne.
crazy.
And I wanted to let everyone know real quick, because I've been so silent. And really, I'm just doing it because
He handsome, for real.
you know, just to give, you know, people answers or whatever. I'm not doing Joanne right now, not because of whatever, but because of my mom is dying of cancer, and I didn't know how to tell anybody, and she was dying for a while, and I can't tell you or explain it in under a minute. So to sum it up, I'm not playing Joanne right now because of I'm focusing on that, and because that's my last parent. So I just like to, you know, like I'm in a good place, and I'm trying to stay there, you know, because mental health is a tricky thing. So I'd like to keep that good. And
a few weeks later,
You gotta
he
keep
shared the
yourself
announcement with his
good first.
supporters that his mother, Veronica, had sadly passed away. Brandon returned to social media that summer, but his uploads became infrequent. Joanne the Scammer made a cameo in Tyler Perry's A Medea Family Funeral and collaborated with
Well, first of all, he don't owe y'all a goddamn thing. If he want to be inconsistent, he can, because he's a human just like all the rest of us, and we be going through stuff. Y'all act like y'all ain't like him no way. So why y'all care if he inconsistent or not? Like, make up your minds, bro. Make up your mind.
Netflix and The Hustlers movie for promo. However, these projects went largely unnoticed, leaving fans questioning Joanne's whereabouts. When a Twitter user asked about the character's disappearance, Brandon responded candidly, saying, "To be honest, my mom died, and then my life went downhill from there. Never wanted to say that because I don't want to be looked at like a victim or like I'm trying to gain sympathy from anyone. I'm doing much better now. And just because I don't post all the time doesn't mean I'm dead." In 2020, Brandon made an effort to keep Joanne the Scammer active, consistently posting on Joanne's pages throughout the year. However, with the rise of TikTok and a new wave of internet personalities, both Joanne and Brandon gradually faded into the background. By the end of the year, regular updates to the accounts had stopped. Joanne occasionally resurfaced for brand collaborations and promotional work.
This Caucasian bitch is back.
But these appearances no longer attracted the same level of attention. Over the past 5 years, Brandon's following has declined from nearly 3 million to 1.3 million followers.
Dang,
in 2024, he posted a comedic message addressing those who had unfollowed him.
Fuck you, honestly.
And made a few sporadic posts throughout the year.
My mom's dying of cancer.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh no, she'll be gone soon. I've had to support them financially for like a couple of months. I've stopped Joanne for a while.
That's some real,
because
real life
it's just a
stuff.
lot. So I think for a couple of months I enjoyed it, but it's really hard. But like I say, hatred can become, and I'm not saying I'm stopping. I just feel like hatred can become uninspiring. And if you look at all the shit that I've been said about, and it's just a lot with the character, that also mistakes I've made. The problem is with me though is that I find I don't want the fame, and a lot of people want that. So I'm really quiet, and I come when I feel like I need to come.
Pause.
So I'm just different, I guess. I don't want all that. I want to do Joanne when I want to do it, but I just want to live my life as well.
Yeah.
Just private, just quiet.
Unfortunately, the Joanne the Scammer character no longer dominates internet culture like she did before. While his social media presence has slowed down, Brandon and Joanne the Scammer goes down in history as an icon that paved the way for a lot of these social media characters. Notably, his influence can be seen in personalities like Terry Joe, who adopted Joanne's signature blend of edgy humor and the racist white woman persona. As of now, Brandon Miller has stepped away from the spotlight. He really had the potential to evolve into a full-fledged media brand beyond social media skits like his counterparts. Whether or not Joanne the Scammer will ever make a full comeback remains uncertain, but her influence is still felt across meme culture and internet comedy. Hopefully he's in a better place and we'll see him again soon. Like this video and subscribe to BFTV for more content.
Okay. Wow. My oh my. Final thoughts on this, y'all. Joanne the Scammer, if you wind up seeing this, or can I call you Brandon? Yeah, okay. Look. However you go by in today, I think Joanne the Scammer should make a comeback. We got the #1 scammer as the president right now. I think Joanne the Scammer can come back. I think we need Joanne the Scammer right now. I think that would provide a good laugh. Please come on, John. Also, wow, I learned a lot. Like, that's some heavy stuff. I just think that's the success to have come from all of that trauma and pain that they had to endure, and then even leading up, despite all that, still having to take care of his mom because of our going through cancer, and then having both parents pass away when you were already adopted. Like, wow. But hey, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on what you felt about the video, and if you'd like to see more content like this, and if you need another video check up, make sure you check out the last video. And until next time, it's peace in the Middle East and everywhere else. Bye.